broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B, Around the Indoor Football World, Shield TV, and The Big Football Show. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla Hour, Broseph Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, Bodkin Show, and Spirit of Detroit Podcast. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Wrestling Roundup, Skull Gang 365, First and 10 with Foz, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports, Spitballin' Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, 313 Den Podcast, Puckett, The Guys Huddle, Main Event Football Show, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Sports Truth Podcast, and Off the Rails. Hope you enjoy all the shows and feel free to comment, like, share, and subscribe.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Shield TV. Let's talk about this SmackDown recap. So they started off the show at Madison Square Garden, which was a great SmackDown. Started off with a banger. You had the Bloodline, the new Bloodline come out. And then you had Cody Rhodes show up with Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. When they walked in there and met them on the stage, it gave me like Triple H with the McMahon vibe after what happened with Randy Orton and Legacy with the McMahon family and Triple H. That was like super intense. And then like kicked it off, like they battled out in the arena. Kevin Owens, Swanton Bomb, Tungaloa through the table. It's like crazy. So then they get in the ring. SmackDown GM Nick Aldis comes out with security. So they're in the ring at this point, and security ends up getting in there. This is after their promos. Security gets in there. All right. Security ends up getting the beat down. You had a fucking stunner, RKO, Crossroads. It was mayhem. Then what happened? Nick Aldis goes back, gets the police. Police have to come out, have to tell them, hey, not doing this tonight. Guys got to get out of here. Guys don't get out of the ring. Guys are going to get arrested. So they end up leaving. Then all hell broke loose when we had a Money in the Bank qualifying match. All right. Santos Escobar going up against Logan Paul and LA Knight, which was a banger triple threat. All right. Logan Paul does what Logan Paul does at the end. Okay. Now, showed up with Tyrese Halliburton to stick it into the Knick fans, which wasn't smart on him because Jalen Brunson was ringside for that match. So, get into that end of the match after LA Knight gets the win. You basically had him call for the brass knucks. So Tyrese Halliburton gets the brass knucks from Logan Paul's buddy. Jalen Brunson hops over the wall, grabs the chair, gets in there, meets him in the ring with the chair. All right. This I haven't seen no NBA, superstar or superstars meet face to face in a WWE ring like that with intensity. He looked like he was gonna swing that chair. Whew. I was like, damn. So he looked like he was gonna swing the chair at him. Then you had the women's triple threat Money in the Bank qualifying match. All right. So Tiffany Stratton, you had Candice LeRae, and you had Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill would have had that match won, in my opinion, if Hardwell didn't come out and interfere. Then you had Nia Jax walk out. Then you had Bianca Belair come out. Like, the hell are you even doing out here? This was like during the match. She was like, I'm out here supporting my girl. So she sat out there ringside. Bianca did too. During the match, Jade Cargill just super kicks the hell out of Tiffany Stratton. I was like, damn. Knocked her like right out of the ring. Fucking lifted up Candice LeRae. Fucking threw her at Tiffany Stratton. It's like, I for sure thought she was gonna win that. So I was like a little pissed that went down the way it did. But it's gonna be a great Money in the Bank for women's and the men's, regardless of who's in the match. Now, person who I want to win men's Money in the Bank out of the match that we're gonna be seeing in Toronto is Jey Uso. I want Mr. Yeet in the Bank himself to win. And then whoever's world heavyweight champion, cash in on him, take that belt. So long when the bloodline beats down on the new bloodline, we'll see Roman back as WWE champion alongside Jay, who's going to be world heavyweight champion if he wins Money in the Bank. Not only that, Jimmy and Jay both as the tag team champions for SmackDown. That's if the Guerrillas of Destiny don't end up somehow becoming champs down the line, which that would be a banger match down the line. Usos defend the belts against the Guerrillas of Destiny, who are now in the new bloodline. I mean, this whole story with the bloodline and the new bloodline is like a cinema. All right. It's only going to get better from here. All right. See, fans need to realize, all right, under Vince McMahon, none of this would have been taking place under Vince McMahon. Triple H, absolutely 100%, hands down, knows what he's doing within WWE right now. Like, this is getting juicy. All right. We're only at the beginning of the burger. We're not even like halfway through eating away at this burger yet. All right. So, Money in the Bank's going to be a banger. SummerSlam's going to be a banger because that's when I think Roman Reigns is going to show up with the Usos if they don't, make their presence felt earlier than that. That's when I think they, make an impact, is to come screw Solo. Because I imagine at this time, Solo's going to be crying for a match against Cody. And then they come out, bloodline fashion, come out, numbers game, yada, yada, yada. Then Roman comes out. He's going to screw Solo. Cody's going to remain champion. Then they're going to have Bash at the Berlin. All right. Perfect setup for, like, I don't know, I'd say at this point, you're looking at Zilla Fatu, son of Umaga. I'd say him versus Jacob Fatu at Bash of the Berlin. But for what I'm hearing, because of, his criminal record, he's not allowed to wrestle internationally. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but they're saying that's why he wasn't at the Clash of the Castle at the castle. He wasn't in Scotland. So if that's the case, might have to be this new seat filler that Cody calls Solo. It's gonna have to do the dirty work for Jacob at the Bash of the Berlin. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that. Zilla versus Solo matchup. They match up well. All right. Spike versus Spike. But here's the thing, though. Zilla would absolutely destroy Solo, in my opinion. Okay. When he was in the OG bloodline, all right, you have to remember here, when he was the Enforcer, when Solo had his singles matches, Solo looked absolutely terrible. It wasn't until that feud he got into with John Cena where John Cena got him over. All right. But it's like, dude, no charisma in the ring. All right. Your mic skills are kind of like this. All right, Solo. I think they should have kept him in NXT a little longer than pushing him out as soon as they did. But I mean, hey, it happened. Now we got this, what Triple H has put together now. They destroyed Paul Heyman last night at the ceremony. Solo asked everyone to acknowledge him as the new tribal chief, which everybody did. And then he got to Paul Heyman, which was like the absolute fucking kicker there. Everyone was like on the edge of their seats, like, is he gonna say it? Is he gonna acknowledge him? Then the real nail biter was when he pulled out that the sacred Samoan beads that are Romans. All right. He's like, Where the hell did you get this? It's not yours. It's Romans. And like the look on his face, you could see it. you could absolutely read it in Paul's face. So when he held it out, gave it to him, he said, "This is your last chance. Acknowledge me." He said, "Solo, you know I love you. I acknowledge that you are not my tribal chief." Ooh, whole Reno was like, about fucking time, Paul Heyman. Seen it for weeks leading up to this. Paul Heyman's been really, really uncomfortable with what Solo's been doing since after WrestleMania. First straw was with Jimmy. Okay. Kicked Jimmy out of the bloodline. He had Tama Tonga make his debut, beat him down. Then, with the addition to Tonga Loa, they started destroying, people in their paths, preferably Kevin Owens, Randy Orton. Then, with the addition of Jacob Fatu, which that absolutely blew my mind. When they had that match, which was 1-on-1, Solo, Cody Rhodes on SmackDown. When he sat there and said, "No bloodline," dude, going back from the old bloodline, you can't win matches without somebody helping you. I knew that was a crock right then and there. So when he fucking his boys came out, started beating up Cody, Owens came limping out, Randy Orton started throwing it down. Then it looked like they had finally cornered Solo. He's like, "No, no, 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 no." And all of a sudden, he looked right through them, and right before all of our eyes was Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf himself. If you don't know Jacob Fatu, all right, MLW, Major League Wrestling, absolutely great wrestling, really underrated. They produced MJF, who doing remarkable things in AEW, but that's where he came. All right. So he's wreaking havoc in the ring. Super kick, clothesline, gets out of the ring, Samoan drop right on the steps to Kevin Owens. I'm like, damn. Not even like sweat broke. Starts running around the ring, speared fucking Orton through the fucking wall. It was like, ooh. Laid fucking Cody out. Gave him that fucking Uranagi right on the fucking on the apron. I knew it was over then. Cody's like on the ground on his knees, trying to get up. Laid him down on that announcer table. And dude, when he splashed him through the table, I was like, you know what? I could see him taking this new bloodline. All right. Solo, I don't take that serious. I go back to talking about the original bloodline. All right. Yes, Solo was around, helping beating people up and stuff. But when it came to actual like in ring, Jacob Fatu's got it all. That dude has main event level, IC US main event. Like he's at that level where he can get a belt right now. Whether it's IC, US, he could challenge for the major titles too. He's got it all in a wrestler compared to Solo Sikoa. Like I said, Solo still needs to work on his craft in the ring. And, he's still got to work on some things. But from what they've done with this new bloodline and like the story around it itself, I mean, it's been nothing but magical. You bring in the Guerrillas of Destiny, you bring in Jacob Fatu. Now, there's talking about, there's going to be more family coming out. I've been hearing rumors about Rikishi possibly being a manager for, the new wise man, as so to speak, for the new bloodline. Then you have rumors that, Solo hasn't actually been talking to Roman Reigns, which, hey, I know he hasn't, but, there was speculation there. He was talking to Roman. No, that's a load of crap. Soon as this, new bloodline started forming, it had The Rock written all over it. Final boss written all over it. Because remember, last WrestleMania was supposed to be The Rock versus Roman, and that got wiped away. So he's eager to get in the ring with Roman. What better way than to steal his faction, steal his thunder, take everything from him, all right? Destroy the wise man. You touch Cody Rhodes, which is supposed to be off limits. You make a threat at CM Punk, which the wise man said when CM Punk came back was going to be off limits. And he kept his word to the wise man that Punk was going to be off limits. Solo crossed that boundary. Then when you bring in that sacred necklace, that Samoan necklace, crossed all the lines there. Then he, going back to it, put his hands on Jimmy. It wasn't up to him to, kick Jimmy out and act as if he's, the tribal chief. No. Your job as the enforcer is to hold things down until tribal chief makes his return. He decided he was going to take matters in his own hands, clean house, the way he wanted to do it. But we all know it was an inside job. Okay, The Rock going off to film another movie and then being in Solo's ear on the side, which leading up to SummerSlam, probably I'm gonna say right around when The Rock's gonna come back too, possibly. So you could see The Rock challenging Cody. Remember what he said? He wanted to hold Cody's belt too. He said, I've never held that. I've held many belts, but not that one. Can I hold it? I'll even let you hold mine. It's like, oh, okay, bro. Cool. So he's already putting it all out there. He wants to be the one in charge of the bloodline. Doesn't want Roman Reigns. Doesn't want anything Roman. So The Rock's got Solo now. The Rock's got Tamatonga, Tungaloa, Jacob Fatu. He's got four guys working with him right now. And when I've been saying, this whole build up right now, that Triple H created, it's been nothing but cinema. It's been fabulous. I'm eager to see more of this and what transpires on SmackDown. So, man, I'd like to hear anybody's thoughts on this. I mean, we witnessed a great SmackDown at the Garden. All right, absolutely. Like, dude, last SmackDown was fire. SmackDown's just been on another level lately. Not to mention what Raw too. Let's dig into that. You got Liv Morgan, who's trying to undermine Rhea Ripley and swivel her way into the bloodline, which I think she has done, so to speak. She's trying to manipulate and get into Dom's head, trying to get at Dom. She's making all these points and stuff that she likes Dominic. She calls Dom Daddy Dom. I mean, dude, he's living like a young Uncle Eddie right now. Think about it. Think about it. He's got his wife that he just married. Okay. He's got his girlfriend, Rhea Ripley, and he's got a side chick now, Liv Morgan. That's a young Uncle Eddie Guerrero written all over that. Not saying that, he's Eddie himself in the ring. All due respect, RIP, long live Eddie. He's not Eddie. But the way he's being portrayed with everything going on around him, he's got that, that young swagger, so to speak. He's a chick magnet. My man's has got three fine chicks. He's got a wife. He's got his TV girlfriend and his TV side chick. Yes, he absolutely does in the ring. Not even gonna deny that one. But Liv Morgan perfectly executed to get the to get the Judgment Day. To get the Judgment Day a title shot. She walks up to R-Truth. R-Truth thinks that's Carmella. He says, yeah, sure, I'll do it. The Miz absolutely went berserk. And then during the match, she cost R-Truth and Miz the titles. She got them the titles. I mean, that's one thing that, Judgment Day has been all about is they want everyone to, do their part and wear the gold. Now you got Damian, who's champ. Now you got JD and Finn now as the tag champs. Now, is Dominic Mysterio going to hold his end of this? Or is he going to still be the bottom feeder of the group? Which I think at some point you're going to see Dom eventually he's going to get fucking kicked out, in my opinion. Or you're going to see Finn Balor, I think, is coaxing his way with Liv Morgan, and I think he somehow stabs Damian in the back and Rhea Ripley at some point, and Finn goes off on his own as World Heavyweight Champion, leading, beats fucking Damian. Oh, I'm pretty sure she knows about this. She just, got happily married to Buddy Murphy, but I'm sure she's watching. I'm sure she is. I think that'll be a possibility too. I mean, now you got Carlito, who's Judgment Day. I still don't know if he's actually, full-fledged member yet, but he's basically doing the JD routine, how JD had to pitch his, loyalty and to the Judgment Day. But he ended up getting Carlito over there. Kind of seen that coming with the LWO. Carlito was unhappy that Ray picked Dragon Lee as a partner and not him at WrestleMania, which he took as a direct jab at him, like, "Hey, dude, I've been in your corner this whole time. This dude's fresh, you know." Legado del Fantasma has been, beating the crap out of me. Santos has been beating the crap out of me, man. Put me in this. This is my beef, man. So I think that's going to be a possibility too. You see Dom going back to his father in the LWO. I could see that. One thing I do want to see is Finn leave the Judgment Day and then join up with AJ Styles and the Good Brothers and join the OC. That needs to happen. I want to see some straight up Bullet Club business in the WWE. Some straight up OC versus the New Bloodline. That's what I want to see. I want to see some of that. I don't think his father would reject him either. I think, he comes and he approaches his dad like a man, goes up to Ray, apologizes to him, or even, as he's starting to turn into a face, say his dad's getting beat up or whatever, come out and save his dad, and then eventually, standing and fighting beside his dad. I think eventually, if that does happen, you'll eventually see him and his father get what they had back together, like we seen when they were father and son tag team champs. You'll see that level again, which I think will be great. That's one thing Ray was talked about, before he retired, is, he wanted to wrestle with the son, make sure that his son is in good hands and his son is good enough to where his son can, hold his own, so that way Ray can eventually retire and know that his son's good, which we can clearly see that Dom's not there yet. But I think, he needs to eventually get back to his dad, who's an absolute lucha goat, and work more on his craft, work more on his mic skills, and eventually he can get there. It was kind of a start when they had him go to NXT and they had him win the North American Championship. That's the route they should have took with Dominic. Instead of, full-fledged, let's bring him in up to the main roster. No. Should have sent him to NXT, let him work his way up instead of, just getting thrown out there because, hey, my dad's Rey Mysterio. Can I get a roster spot on Raw and SmackDown? In everybody else's world, don't work like that. You'd have to go to NXT, work your way back up to get up in there instead of just full-fledged joining the roster. So I think he just needs to go to NXT. Either work with his dad, go to NXT, and I think Dom will be all right. But as of right now, Dom's not that right now. Dom right now is, getting pulled different directions. He's getting pulled by Rhea from one string, Judgment Day with the other. Then you got Liv Morgan, who's pulling real hard right now. But dude, freaking Finn Balor, definitely something going on with him and Liv. The way he just straight up pocketed that hotel room key card. You might be seeing some stabbing in the back in the Judgment Day. I smell that coming. Definitely smell that one coming and brewing up. But this whole Braun Breaker, dude, he's absolutely tore it up since turning heel. Hell, I'll even take it a step further. When he was in NXT, dude was tearing it up left and right. Like, he's definitely got that Steiner DNA in him. Like, this dude is absolute berserk. He's fun to watch in the ring. He's fun to watch when he's talking on the mic. Dude has it all. He has it all. I would absolutely go berserk. He beats Sami Zayn at Money in the Bank, gets his first title on the main roster, beating Sami Zayn. He's definitely earned that. Like, dude's absolutely went rampant since Adam Pearce left him out of the King of the Ring. Like, this is, like he said, this is where it all started. He's just, been shredding it all up. He's straight up told him, you didn't put me in the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. This is on you. All this carnage is in your hands. It's on your hands. You made this happen. What's he done since? Beat the crap out of Ricochet. Beating the crap out of Sheamus now. Absolutely destroyed Kaiser. We're not even going to talk about that. He straight up Looked like he was going like he could just, straight up went 50 miles per hour around the ring and just absolutely destroyed Kaiser. Kaiser didn't even see that coming. That was absolutely incredible. And then, to watch that unfold, people coming out, like he's been talking about, people have been coming out, interfering in his matches, beats him down. That's exactly what happened. He was in a match. Sheamus came out, beat the hell out of both of them. Now he went straight back there, talked to Adam Pearce. It's like, I want a Money in the Bank contract, but I want it for the, IC title. Sammy gave him what he wanted. He said, name a time, name a place. He said Money in the Bank. So now that's going to be an absolute barn burner, straight up. Happy birthday, Jamie. Hope you have a great birthday. But dude, this has been absolutely amazing. From the time Triple H stepped in after Vince McMahon stepped away, after all the the disgusting stuff that's come out with him, this is what WWE needed. WWE needed somebody to bring it back and elevate it back up to what it used to be. Not this PG era crap. Now you're finally going in the right direction now. Netflix is going to be with WWE. It's going to be uncensored. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Wrestlers going to be able to cuss and not get bleeped out. You're going to be able to see blood. You're going to see more intense matches. Hopefully, you're going to see more crossover with TNA and WWE, which wouldn't happen in the Vince McMahon era. Vince McMahon hated competition, didn't even acknowledge any competition. I mean, the dude absolutely fucking imploded ECW after he bought ECW, which was stupid. ECW, before they got bought by Vince McMahon, was absolutely fun to watch. I love watching it. Then you had Vince McMahon come in. All those ECW originals got drained out. Then he fucking put them on Tuesday nights. People stopped watching. You had Christian as the champion, which that silver championship was ugly as hell. But I will say this. I thank him for Sheamus, because without that, ECW wouldn't see Sheamus. He'd probably still be a fucking security guard if he hadn't had left. But in one point in time, MJF was a security guard. People don't really realize that, but MJF was a security guard in the WWE at one point. There's a video of him, walking out, and then he gets shoved. Like, no, you're not gonna walk in front of me, dude. You're the security, which was funny. But WWE is on a whole nother level now. Now that Triple H is there, you got Shawn Michaels now running NXT, which I really not a fan of it. I'd much rather have Triple H run it, because when Triple H was running it, we all know what levels that was on. You had Undisputed Era down there. Keith Lee. You had NXT UK. You had Pete Dunne when he was Pete Dunne before they turned him into Butch, which I'm glad now he's back to Pete Dunne. But that whole Brawling Brutes thing, I was like, And then when they had Sheamus, get Drew McIntyre to help them out at War Games, I was like, dude, at this point, he just needs to be a member of the Brawling Brutes. I would have did it, but they chose not to. They're like, no, McIntyre, you go off your own way, which would have been perfect. Could have saw more feuding between the Brutes and the Bloodline, which is what I wanted to happen. But missed opportunity there. The only time you could, really experience that is if you plug in WWE 2K and actually play it yourself. But this WWE era we're in now, absolutely remarkable. The things that they're doing. Like I said, Raw is going to be great. This coming Monday, Raw is going to be great. SmackDown is going to be off the chains again. Main roster right now is at that level right now where it's like you fill up a cup and it's like barely overflowing. And then when they just added Jacob Fatu, slowly pouring out. It's like, damn, dude. Can barely handle what we're getting. They're throwing more and throwing more. This is great. This is what WWE fans have been wanting for a long time. Is for someone like Triple H to come in, work his magic, smart man, really creative, brought back Bray Wyatt. So before Bray Wyatt passed, he did remarkable things with Bray Wyatt. You had Bo Dallas come, Uncle Howdy. Then you had this Bloodline cinema, OG Bloodline with Roman Reigns was remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. The Seth Rollins World Heavyweight Championship run, astounding. You had Sami Zayn reunite with Kevin Owens, which was what everybody wanted to see happen again. We got that at WrestleMania. They won the tag titles together. They main evented WrestleMania. That was insane. By defeating the Usos, which was a banger. You had Sheamus come back in banger matches with Drew McIntyre and Gunther, who I call Walter, because to me he's Walter still. The Ring General. That dude, in my opinion, is gonna destroy Damian Priest. Damian Priest manages to beat Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank. I want Gunther to be the next World Heavyweight Champion. I mean, the writing is in stone right now. Gunther is gonna be a world champion before we know it. You're gonna have DIY beat the living hell out of A-Town Down Under, unless something happens where they end up, cheating, which I see happening. I mean, it's A-Town Down Under, which I want to see DIY as champions on SmackDown. Needs to happen. Lead that up to Gorillas of Destiny, who are now in the Bloodline, versus DIY. Then you start swirling in, come around SummerSlam. Then you bring in the Usos. Now you got Randy Orton, Kevin Owens who are tagging. Then you got the New Catch Republic, who are absolutely amazing in the ring. Get them involved more in the tag team instead of having them down in NXT doing what they're doing. Bring them back up there. You need to get this tag team division going. Okay? Can't just be the Street Profits. You need to have more involved. That's another thing that I think that Triple H is going to end up kicking off and taking to another level is the tag team division is going to start amping up too. So you're going to still have these absolute masterpieces thrown at you, but you're also going to see, more of the main roster getting better and better. Then eventually you're going to see the women's start taking off more. Then you're going to see the tag teams. But right now, absolutely great what he's doing with factions. Triple H is an absolute faction guy. All right. He's been a part of the Great Evolution. He's been a part of the Great DX. It's been part of the legendary group with him and his buddies in the Clique. So, with Vince McMahon in charge, you wouldn't have seen all these factions. They would have got absolutely destroyed and dismantled. So, kudos to Triple H for what he's been doing. It's absolutely remarkable. You're going to see more and more awesomeness coming your way. And the next month is going to just be off the chain, dude. Before you know it, there's going to be Bloodline Civil War at War Games. That's going to be an absolute fucking cage match right there. Roman Reigns is finally going to get Solo inside of War Games. Solo's going to get fucking destroyed. Hell, I'd even laugh if he fucking, did what he did to Brock Lesnar. Fucking spear him right through the fucking cage wall. But I don't think that would happen because the War Games cage is a lot stronger. But hey, just fucking spear him through the fucking cage door. At least, spear him through something besides a table or something in the ring. Just a WWE podcaster that loves talking about WWE. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate it. But, man, SmackDown was absolutely amazing. I personally think that their commentary can be a little bit better. I mean, you went from Pat McAfee and Michael Cole to Corey Graves and Wade Barrett. The commentary is a little dull right now, but I think if WWE finds a way, which kind of hoping they do, you bring Taz in, because there's rumor and speculation that Taz and Hook's contracts are running out with AEW. Send Hook over to NXT. Bring his pops in to do commentary on SmackDown. Bring him back on SmackDown. I'd love to see that. That'd be absolutely great to see Taz back on SmackDown at the commentary table. Another person who I wouldn't mind coming back to be a commentator again would be Joey Styles. Pair him up with Taz on SmackDown, and then you have Michael Cole and Pat McAfee on Raw. Absolutely amazing. That's what needs to happen. Start building up that commentary. People are really going to be tuning in. Get some A1 commentary. You already got an A1 ring announcer, Samantha Irvin. She's absolutely great on the mic. Now you just add some absolute studs to that SmackDown commentary booth. That's what needs to happen. And then, eventually in the future, which I think might happen, Triple H ends up coaxing his way to get Dean Ambrose to sign a contract with WWE, Jon Moxley, and he comes back. That, I think, would solidify the main roster as we know it. Bring in a guy like that, absolutely fire. Hands down. Whether he be on SmackDown or whether he be on Raw, it'd be good for either brand. But what needs to happen is we see like another legacy group formed. This time, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and another superstar. So I know Ted DiBiase Jr. is going through a bunch of legal problems. So I don't know if that's all been cleared up or not, whether or not he'd want to come back to WWE at this point. He's been gone for so long. I don't know. But it needs to happen, though. It needs to have Randy Orton in another group. Having him part of tag teams is great. But I think for his final run, get him in another faction and let him ride off into the sunset to be a part of something great. Hell, I'd even let him pass up Ric Flair to win the most championships. Let him pass up John Cena. He's deserved it. He's the legend killer, Randy Orton. What we're probably going to see, since what I've been noticing with Randy Orton, how he's been eyeing Cody Rhodes with the belt, you're eventually probably going to see Randy Orton battling it out with Cody Rhodes for that belt. It's only a matter of time. It's going to be amazing if it does happen, which I'd want to see on a good PLE. If that's the case. Hell, first pay-per-view after this coming WrestleMania should be Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes with the WWE Championship. That's how it should play out. Make it a fire match. Last man standing. Appreciate everyone tuning in and watching. Be back here next Saturday.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Around the Indoor Football World, Shield TV, and The Big Football Show. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla Hour, Broseph Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, Bodkin Show, and Spirit of Detroit Podcast. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Wrestling Roundup, Skull Gang 365, First and 10 with Foz, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports, Spitballin' Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, 313 Den Podcast, Puckett, The Guys Huddle, Main Event Football Show, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Sports Truth Podcast, and Off the Rails. Hope you enjoy all the shows and feel free to comment, like, share, and subscribe.